Hi, here we are with Philfy and DJ Poetic. Thanks for coming, guys.
What's up, man?
G'day.
So we're here for two things today. One is to interview you guys and get a bit more information about you, as well as to do a review on the Pop Guard filter.
Which is this here. And the whole time this interview is going to go for Dane, who is the person that is behind the mic, who we're not showing, sorry. He's going to be talking into this so you can hear how clear it comes out. And then we're going to review it at the end so we could tell you what we think of it. All right. Just slides over the mic like that. Doesn't have to hang from anything. It just sits on the mic. I'll take it off and show you again. Because it's got the rubber here. Elastic, sorry. And it just sits over the mic. Awesome.
Alright, well, we'll start at the beginning then. What are your earliest memories of hip-hop?
Mine's a lot of Grandmaster Flash. Obviously, coming from a small town, you only get to see what's on the television, so I don't really have much. It took me a while to sort of fall into early memories of hip-hop.
And what about you, Philfy?
My earliest memory, I'll give you two, was my main memory was back when I was, I don't know, in year 5 maybe. I had a cassette tape of NWA, yeah, and I'm cranking that shit, playing basketball at the back, just cranking that as loud as possible, loving it and loving Eazy-E. Eazy-E's like he's one of my idols. And another one is Montel Jordan, This Is How We Do It. That was an awesome R&B song back in the day. I think everybody knows the words of that song.
Alright. And what got you started in the music industry?
With me it was like, I just like hip hop and rap, the way it sound, the way just the culture of it. Like people put a label on people's heads saying wigger and all this stuff. What, you're a wigger because you like a certain music? Like, we don't call every person who listens to heavy metal a punk or a Nazi, but yeah. I used to write lyrics and stuff, so that's what got me into it, writing the lyrics. And then my mate Parky showed me a program and went from there and just done lots since, yeah.
And what about you, Poetic? What got you started?
Well, in the town I grew up in, I used to volunteer at the local radio station, so I used to have a weekly show 2 nights a week before the nightclubs and do a DJ session on their radio station. And then from there, when I moved from the town I was in to Victoria, I was doing a certain business, and as bribery, my father bribed me to finish the course and he bought me Sony Acid to learn how to make beats on. Basically, that's how I sort of fell into it, from DJing to making beats.
A question for Philfy.
Yep.
Can you explain PE, Filfster Entertainment?
Alright, so I guess it stems from my nickname, Philfy. That's just not like a rap name made up. Like, obviously it's made up, but a lot of Phillips get called Philfy Phil. I spell it, as you can see on my shirt, Philfsta is Philfster. I spell Philfy Philfy, and I got given that name at about the age of 15. And then when I started doing music, when like I was doing lots of little stuff when I was younger, but when I hit about 22 years old, I started making beats and stuff, and then came up with Philfster Entertainment, because I didn't want to just be like Philfster record labels or something. I wanted it to be more than just music. I wanted to do videos, anything to do around music. So for video clips and anything, which I do have video clips, and they're on YouTube at the moment. So, and I directed and produced all that. So the whole entertainment thing comes from everything, not just one like source, which is music.
And Poetic, why did you sign to PE?
Well, I met Phil on Facebook, like everyone meets everyone on Facebook through mutual people, and then I asked him about his label, because I was looking to sign to a label, mainly because it was a way for me to get my music out there as a beat producer, And I've been producing beats for a while, and it's just a better way to get, stuff across to mass media through the label. And when he has artists on his label, they can use beats as well. That's why I signed up.
Your style's quite unique. Boom bap and crunk trap is a bit of an odd combination. Why do you think this would work?
It's not so much that we mix that in, because mixed in it probably isn't going to sound that good. It's our own personal styles. Poetic likes his boom bap a lot more than he likes like trap and stuff. I love my trap. I just love snare rolls and closed hi-hats going off in the background constantly. Deep bass, that's just, it may not be what I grew up with, but I think from the first time I heard UGK Bend Over Let Me See It, I was, yeah, that was a dope song. I just started loving. I already liked a lot of the Southside stuff back then, and I had heard other UGK stuff, but I was sort of more into Bone Thugs and Harmony back then, and Eazy-E and stuff, and then I heard Bend Over Let Me See It. I was like, that 808 bass going, it was like doom 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 doom. Oh, it was just awesome, so catchy. Pimp C, he was just awesome. Just what they're rapping about, it's pretty self-explanatory in the name. So yeah, I'll let Walter explain where he comes from with that.
Well, with me, basically, I started making beats as all around it, but it was when I heard Dilla's production, because I like that cracking snare, and it's got a sort of swing to it, like a jazz swing, but the drums sound real dirty, and at the same time, with the samples, makes it melodic. With trap and stuff like that, I also like a bit of that as well. So I try not to stay within the one genre. I try and be an all-rounder with production, be able to make everything. So it's not just the one thing where it becomes mundane and people get bored and just pigeonhole you into that. But same basically thing. Once I heard Little John, I was like, oh, I like that sound, the loud bass and stuff.
I think Throw It Up by Little John has got to be the best song he has ever done. He's got good songs, but Throw It Up, Pastor Troy in it, yeah, I don't think you can get much better than that song. The fact is that I talked to Pastor Troy on Twitter, so PT, he's a man. I want to do a song with him, but it's just hard. I can't contact his people to do it. He doesn't give a specific way of doing that.
Costs money too.
I don't mind.
Yeah.
I'll pay the $300-400 that he wants.
All right. Well, I'd like to talk about business ethics for a moment, starting with you, Poetic. So what do you consider to be ethical values for producers?
Well, definitely staying humble and not being an asshole about things, because I know a lot of producers that try and force feed people stuff. They don't talk to people and try and liaise with them, build up a friendship within people. And that, to me, as someone that has the business background, I studied business and that's the way I feel. If you want to sell a product to someone, then you have to sort of befriend them in such a way that they'll buy your product. And I think a lot of people don't stay humble when they do things like that. They can tend to be full of themselves.
And Philfy, your views?
My views are, well, I'll put it coming from the fact that I own Philfy Entertainment, and to let people know, Walter is my number 2 man, so he's second in charge of the label. But the thing is that I wanted to be one of them bosses that weren't evil, weren't just total assholes to you, and I wanted to be good, but I wanted also with ethics, people, when you're given a deadline, do that stuff. I've had people that I gave a song to and I didn't get nothing back for 3 months, and that's not good business ethics at all. Good business ethics is have it back as quick as possible. Don't say you want to do a song and then don't do it. It's just, in my eyes, it's wrong what they do. So, but I like working hard. I think, yeah, me and Walter have made a lot of music this year, so.
All right, well, you mentioned some other artists. Let's talk a bit more about your collaboration and production with others from around the world.
Yeah. I'll talk in Australia first. In Australia, we got the boys over in South Australia, Double SMP, Darkside, I think it's Denny Darkside Productions or Darkside Productions. They're some boys. They're really, really good doing their thing there. He's got a few boys on his label now. We've done collabos with them. Done some stuff with some other boys over in Western Australia that I choose not to say their name because, yeah, I don't talk to them anymore. There's another business ethics thing right there. Done some. I constantly go to Cairns and record all the Murray boys up there that are my friends, and I do that for free. And there's the E-Town boys, M&A boys. They're the main two groups, but it's the Triple M boys as well, not just the M&A boys. So you got Morrible, Menunda, and Menora, them three together. And the E-Town boys, they're my crews up there. I've got my mate that I've known since I was young, Timmy D, doing his thing down here in Brisbane. And then I'd done collabo with Ghetto Rev. Ghetto Rev's awesome. Good lad over in New York. We got Bad Seed who is joining the label, and he's in Detroit. A lot of stuff going down. Hope he's doing all good. We haven't heard from you in a while, man, and he's a little bit sick at the moment, so I hope everything's good, bro. Also, gonna be doing some other stuff with some other people from America real soon. And production wise, same, gonna be doing some stuff with people in America really soon. And I'm recording an EP for Kells Bells. You'll see stuff come up on the Philfy Entertainment page on Facebook. She plays guitar and sings a sort of grunge, heavy metal sort of thing going on there. She's got a few songs. We're going to compile an EP for her and bring that out. That's going to be fully my production, with her playing her electric guitar and her also singing as well. And she's got a voice for singing, but also she can rap, so she's going to do some raps as well. So that's, and production of other production. I produce everything I do. If the track ain't produced by me, it's produced by Poetic. I don't use anyone else's stuff unless, like, my boys up in Cairns want to start freestyling. If they want to start freestyling, I'll just pull out other people's instrumentals off the internet and just download that stuff just for them to play with. But I'd rather not use my beats for freestyles. So, but yeah, that's me on production and collabs, yeah.
And Poetic, what about your experiences?
Well, for me, production-wise, mainly beat as a beat maker. A lot of stuff with the boys in South Australia, SMP, Darkside Productions. A lot of stuff for their mixtapes. Ghetto Rev, I've got 3 songs on his upcoming album that are going to be the intro, the outro, and the main single. Some work with Scribs from Mixed Thoughts, a female singer named Eden recently. And a lot of stuff, obviously, with Philfy Entertainment and the 4Fs, False Freedom and Friendly Fire. Did some work with them recently, helping them sort of put together their EP and stuff. Yeah, so that's pretty much for me. My production's floating around everywhere.
I forgot about them. Shout out to False Freedom. Friendly Fire there. And we'll just point out one thing. Friendly Fire is in a heavy metal band as a singer, and he's just come to rapping, and he's already better than half you rappers out there that is shit.
Well, Philfy, considering you're more of a producer, how many songs have you rapped in this year?
Well, this year alone, I've probably done about 120 songs, and like, I admit, in a lot of stuff I repeat, but I clearly say to the people, I'm a producer, and I don't have the vocabulary for rapping. And I never liked my voice up until recently, where I've actually found my voice in rap and decided that I'm just going to keep rapping now, and I'm just jump on a track whenever I feel like it. If I want to record, I'll record myself. If I want to record some boys to jump on the track, I'll do that. If people want to send me stuff, I'll do that. But I don't let other people master my stuff. They cannot get my voice right. They make it sound like crap. So, and with the rapping, call me fake or whatever you want, fake rapper, I don't care. I'm a producer, and I can tell you right now that I can produce better than most of the producers out there, mixing and mastering and making it sound like absolutely crap. Sorry, if your breath comes through on the song, it sounds like shit. No breathing on the song, cut it out, because when you hear blah 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 that sounds like crap.
And Poetic, you're of Filipino descent and you're born and raised in Australia. However, your style has some more American influences. Why is this?
Well, I think because I didn't actually discover Australian hip-hop till my late 20s, and being from a family that speaks a second language, like my mother obviously spoke Filipino, and she had a slight accent because from the Philippines, a lot of people have more of an American accent, and for me, coming from a small town, that's all we really had was sort of American influenced music. So that's what I sort of studied on. I never really had any Australian artists to look at and listen to sort of mimic, I guess.
And how did you progress into beat making and writing songs?
Well, originally I started beat making and then went from there, and I was like, oh, I might try writing raps. It seems interesting, and then I was like, oh, I couldn't afford to buy beats off people, so I thought the next progression is just to make them. I guess make them yourself. It saves money, and you're not paying someone else for something you could do yourself. So yeah.
And who have been your biggest influences?
In hip hop, oh, there's a lot. Like Bone Thugs and Harmony, definitely. Growing up, and lately probably Bliss and Esso in Australian hip hop, and a lot of my peers, like within the music industry that I listen to, that I'm friends with, and talk to a lot to do with music. Yeah, I look at their stuff, and they definitely influence me in ways, I think it's a lot of friendly competition that to help yourself improve and better yourself. And that's what influences me, I guess.
And Philfy, what about you?
Like I said earlier, Eazy-E, loved his stuff, loved it. Bone Thugs and Harmony, yeah, grew up listening to them. I remember when I first heard, and it may have been a CD too late from when they came out, but we didn't get East 1999, but listening to Crossroads and just going, wow, listen to how they rap, listen to how fast they are, and sitting there and studying the songs and like Thug Love with Tupac, for instance, that had to be one of my favourite songs of all times because Busy Bone, the way he raps and it's so quick. I used to be able to rap that whole song word for word when I was listening to it all the time, and then back, I don't know, 10 years ago, 11 years ago, I was like listening to a lot of Pastor Troy. Oh, sorry, when I was in the 90s, I was listening to a lot of Master P and No Limit records. And then, in the 2000s, I was listening to Pastor Troy. Even though he had beef with Master P, I still listened to them both. Love both their stuff. Mr. Squeaky going off. And then, Little John came out and just loved the crunk. Loved everything to do with it. I still got every single one of his CDs. And they're not digitally downloaded or stolen. They're proper CDs. So, and same with Pastor Troy's. Actually, I had to digitally download them to buy them. But that's them what I grew up listening to. Yeah. Oh, and Eminem, can't forget Eminem, Rap God.
Of course. Well, how has your music and production improved since you started studying at SAE?
Immensely. Like, there's so many things. Like, yeah.
To the start of the year,
yeah,
getting somewhere to
since we. Because we've gone back and listened to a lot of the stuff we've done previously, like when we did the Getting Somewhere CD, and then gone through all the mixtapes, you can actually hear the progression of the sound and the way it's changed and evolved.
And now it's just...
And it's just getting better and better each day with each course, each lesson. Each time we make something, you can hear the difference and what's going on, like, definite.
And now I think we can compare ourselves to the best, not Dr. Dre or Timbaland or anything, but to the other best out there. I don't see myself no Rick and Artie or Cinematic. The problem, they're two producers that are awesome Cash's producers, but I put myself pretty close to them, loving what they do, and if I listen to one of their songs and go back to one of my songs and listen to what I do to what they do, it's not too far apart at all. So...
In your track, Sound of Tears, you cover some serious issues that seem to hit really close to home. Can you elaborate on the inspiration for that song?
Well, we'll go. The beat was actually a poetic beat, MSB beat, and we were sitting there listening to it, and pretty much instantly, just the way that song sounds, came to my head, and I'm pretty sure Walter had an image in his head of the way he wanted the song to be as well. But came to my head that song should be about our past family members. So I'll let Walter explain his family after I explain mine. I won't tell you about it. I'll let him do that. But my family is, my brother died of cancer back in 2009, 4 months and 22 days after he found out he had it. And it was just like in that point of my life, being depressed and all that, and still being like, you don't get over it, but still having that feeling of missing my best friend, you know, the person I spoke to about everything in the world, and not having that anymore. And the fact that, you know, he, just growing up, we went through 26 years together. And like a lot of people, like, you know, their family members live to 50 and they spend 50 years to get together. But in such an early age of life, it affects you a lot more. And it was just very difficult losing my brother. So I said to Walter we should do this song about our family members. And it come to doing it, come up with the chorus pretty quick before we even came up with the verses. And laid the verses down, put a little bit of auto-tune over it, and I think everybody likes the way it sounds with the auto-tune too. So the whole feeling of it is a dedication to our family members that we've lost, that we love so much still after the years of missing them. And it's like a really close to heart song for us.
Basically what I did was I made the beat, I sent it to Phil, and we went off basically the title of the track, so we didn't have to change much. We just went off the title of their beat, because a lot of the beats I make. But within the verse I did was basically telling the story, because I moved from Victoria to Queensland, and shortly after my 21st birthday we had a knock at the door from the military. Because my father was in the military at the time, and they needed my father to ring his superior officers back in the Northern Territory where we're from. And I had to travel 3 days on a bus, basically, with no aircon all the way back to the Territory, because my mother had passed in a car crash. So basically that was my story within the song, is just telling the story of the trip from start to finish all the way to the funeral, which at the end I had to actually work for a couple of weeks in Katherine, back in the town I grew up in, for a couple of weeks waiting for the funeral to happen and all that stuff. And that was, yeah, it was a traumatic trip, and I felt with this song it was like a way that we could talk about our losses, and that way people can relate in some way. And yeah, it was a very heartfelt song. It was like one of my favourite songs we've done, because it's a lot of meaning in it.
I don't think many people have heard that, but it probably we should by rights do a video clip to that song over any other song, just so people, because it will hit the heart of people when they listen to it, because especially if they've lost a mother, a brother, any family member they've lost, you know, it hits everyone hard, not just one person.
It is a powerful song. Well, thank you very much for giving us your time today and giving us a bit more information about yourself. But now it's time for the Pop Guard review.
Oh, you're welcome to. Yeah, so the Pop Guard. Okay, so it's from it's a sound. Is it Sound Tech?
It's Wintech, the company
Wintech
that makes them. They've been making pop filters since 1979, I believe, and they've been doing it quite a while.
And the fact that it doesn't sit over, like, off another bit of the, like if we look down here, a normal pop filter will be screwed on here and have to come over the top, or you have another mic stand coming down to here over the top. This doesn't do that. It just sits over the top of it. So it's a lot more user friendly, a lot more easier to take anywhere you want. Like I'll always use the normal pop filter as well, just because that's just the way I am, I suppose, stuck in the old times. This is the new time stuff. But using this, I used it, and yeah, it works very efficiently, and you don't hear the only way to put it is the whole. You don't hear that at all in the song, so. And that's good. And to Deb, was it Deb?
Deb at Studio Connections
Deb. Thank you very much for sending us. We got these for free to test out, to show everyone. They're for sale on our website too. So I'll let Walter talk about it. He can tell you the website, but Poetic.
Yeah, it's studioconnections.com.au, and basically they're a company in Victoria. They don't just sell pop filters, but they basically got contracts, I'm guessing, with other companies. They sell consoles, reverb units, studio monitors. The list goes on of what they sell.
Yeah, it's all studio stuff.
Anything, and it's all related to people that are sort of on a budget, I guess, towards people that are on a budget that do things for the love of music. They're pretty good. Email them if you get a chance. They're very straightforward. They'll tell you. Yeah.
She's a very nice lady too. The stuff gets shipped from Melbourne, so it only takes a couple of days to get to you. It doesn't matter. And we'll be receiving other stuff to review. But in my eyes, out of 10, I'll rate this a 9 because it's just good, and I don't really rate many things 10. So 9 means go and get one, because in my eyes this is the new way of having a pop guard / pop filter. No more carrying around this thing that's this long with an end on it like this. It's got a 180 circumference. It sits around the front of the mic. So
yeah. Well, I rated it actually same 9 out of 10, more or less, for the functionality and the ease of use. Like, you don't need to be a rocket scientist to slap it over your mic. It can be also used with your original pop filter as a second pop filter to stop extra plosives and stuff. But that's mainly it. Easy to use, and if you're a guitar player, you don't want to be stuffing about with your mic stand and moving screw-on pop filters around. You just want to have that there and ready to go. So yeah, 9 out of 10 for me.
So yeah, if you want one, give Deb a call.
Studioconnections.com.au.
Email's on there. If you go to contact us, you can email her, and you could just type in Studio Connections. Just type in Studio Connections Melbourne, and you'll get the phone number, so you can give her a call directly. And we'd like to say thanks again for sending us the product and for letting us review it. I love it a lot and appreciate giving us a chance to do this for you.
Yeah, thanks.
Well, thanks again for the discussion today, guys, and for the informative review on the Pop Guard.
You're welcome. All right, have a nice day. Peace.
Cheers.